Hi, this is Jeremy Kellett, Director of Recruiting here at Oakley Trucking. I'm your host for this podcast. This is the Oakley Podcast, Trucking Business and Family. Appreciate everybody tuning in every week to listen to the new episodes we got coming out. And this one is going to be a good one because I bet most of the listeners out there didn't know Bruce Oakley had bagging facilities where we bag product. And we're going to sit down with Dustin Wilcox and Mike Tribley, and we're going to talk about their facilities in Beebe, Arkansas, and Foristell, Missouri, and just exactly what all products they put out, where their location is, how big it is. I got to talking to them yesterday a little bit about this, kind of prepping for this episode, and it's just I didn't even know all this stuff. So it's really good information. I think everybody's going to learn something from this. So we'll get started with that here in just a minute. But first, sponsors. Man, as always, LubeZone's been a great sponsor for the Oakley Podcast from the beginning, and, of course, Aero Truck Sales. LubeZone, we actually had, it might have been you, Annabelle, send me that stuff that was on Facebook the other day talking about LubeZone, and it was just people chiming in, of how quick they are, how efficient they are, how, a lot of our owner-operators use LubeZone for their services, oil changes, and it was something that I guess, I don't hear a whole lot about, but when we did, we sent it to the LubeZone representatives. They thought it was great. So, I mean, they got a good reputation. I recommend you try them. You find one of their locations. I know they got one down in Houston or in that area. I forget where all their locations are at, but definitely check out LubeZone. And, of course, Aero Truck Sales been with us from the beginning. Those guys are great up there in Springfield, Missouri. Do a heck of a job on first-time owner-operators, especially first-time owner-operators getting their first truck and helping them, taking care of them after the sale. So, be sure and check out LubeZone and Aero Truck Sales, our sponsors. Very much appreciated. And as always, follow the podcast, watch it on YouTube, listen to it, however you guys want to do. I appreciate you sharing it, telling other people about it. Annabelle does a great job putting out our stuff on TikTok and, all kinds of short videos. I mean, it's just, done great. We got a great following now. We're up over like 34,000, almost 35,000 followers on YouTube, or subscribers, I should say. A lot on Facebook and all our social media. So it's been great and going great. So appreciate everybody, what y'all do and sharing the information. Okay, let's talk to Mr. Dustin Wilcox and Mike Tribley. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Doing good.
Good. Glad you came. Appreciate it. I know we kind of gathered all the managers here this week and got together and have a meeting and get to talk about some stuff, and it really opens my eyes on, wow, what all Bruce Oakley entails, everything it encompasses. And this the stuff that you guys are dedicated to doing is something I bet a lot of our listeners don't know anything about, and that's the bagging plants that you operate in Beebe and Foristell. So before we get into that, I want to talk all about that. But first, Dustin, introduce yourself to everybody. Let us know who you are.
I'm Dustin Wilcox. I'm from Greenbrier, Arkansas, born and raised.
You didn't tell me that before we started. I should have known that.
Started with Oakley about 6 years ago. Married, got 2 kids, 15 and 12, and work daily out of the BB office. Come down to North Little Rock at least 1 or 2 days a week also, and then oversee the BB office and the Foristell location too. So
what do you do on the weekends?
So born and raised on a farm, so run cattle, sheep, pigs, do farmers market, custom beef, pork, all that stuff.
Oh, really?
Interesting. And then, run kids to ball and, all the fun things that come along with that.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
So I'm Mike Tribley. Grew up 10 miles south of Foristell, Missouri. Was born in St. Louis, at a young age and everything else. Moved out to Foristell area about age second grade, and grew up out there. Very nice, fun area, and so forth. Worked. Foristell used to be called T&N. Oakley bought us in 2021. I've been there since 1993. just grown throughout the operation. Started as a truck driver at one time, worked into production, worked into safety, worked as a plant manager, and then now I general manage the Foristell plant.
Nice. Family?
Family, I have a wife of 28 years, 2 kids, 23, Morgan, and 21, Grant. Morgan's still in college. Grant's out of college. He's got his own gig going on right now, so almost empty nesters.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What do y'all do for hobbies? or weekends?
Hobbies, we like camping, fishing, kayaking the Missouri waterways. We love going out and camping and floating.
Got some good rivers and
Oh, we got
streams
great
up there?
rivers up in
Really?
the Ozarks, yeah.
How far is that north of St. Louis?
So that's south of St. Louis.
South of St.
Yeah,
Louis.
about an hour south of St. Louis.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so you have like the Current River,
Oh, yeah.
Huzzah River, the Black River.
That's probably where the current starts,
yes,
right up
yes.
there close.
Yes. It's there's a couple natural springs in the Current River that feed it. Very cold water. I would say 62 degrees all year round.
Yeah.
Yeah, trout fishing in that
Yeah.
in those rivers.
I'm familiar with the Current River on farther south in northeast Arkansas.
Yeah.
Where I'm from. So we're right on the Current River, grew up on the Current River. So, but it's a little different than where you are up north. So
Yeah. Very beautiful waters, clear, crystal clear.
Yeah. Let's talk about the BB location first because, Dustin, that one's that's where everything started, back in 68. And I was talking to Benny and Dennis about this a little bit, and they give me a little history on, where they all started back at the BB office. So, back then, I don't remember, was it a bagging plant back then? Were they bagging back
Originally, it started as a fertilizer, and they took in grain. So it was started to, take care of local farmers. There was a need in the area for fertilizer, and started out with that. And then, once they started harvesting their crops, had rail there so they could load out rail cars, and local farmers bring their grain, soybeans, milo, wheat, those products there.
then? Okay.
And from what I understand, Benny got his start there,
Yeah.
and Dennis worked there, and Justin's worked there. So
A lot of history there
a
at
lot
BB.
of history there, yes.
So what do you do there? What all takes place at the BB location?
So we're primarily a feed and fertilizer facility. We bag all different kinds of livestock feed, from cattle feed to poultry feed to, anything livestock wise. We bag there. We do 50-pound bags, and we also do like super sacks. And then we've also got feed delivery in bulk. So we actually deliver bulk feed out to customers' farms. We have bulk fertilizer, so we spread fertilizer for customers, fertilizer buggies, anything that you could need. We also got a small retail store there, so we
Okay.
do service the public as far as, just local people coming in to buy, poultry feed or dog food or things like that.
So you have a lot of those things for sale there at the BB facility.
Yes, and as far as the bag fertilizer there, we do all the standard blends, triple 13, triple 19. We do some custom bagging for some people, and so we stay busy year round. As feed slows down, fertilizer kicks in, and so it's a good balance to keep us busy year round.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So is your business growing much out of there? Or are you kind of steady in what you have? Because BB, for people that don't know, BB is not a very big town.
Yeah, so I guess I should have explained too, the bulk of our business is wholesaling. So we wholesale to around 60 different farm stores around the state of Arkansas, do a little bit into Missouri, southern Missouri. So that's a huge part of our business is that, and then the retail business. So we've continued to grow year after year since I've been there. And I don't know, things are changing a little bit with the cattle market and with prices being so high and people selling off cattle and things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how 24, 25 shakes out on the cattle side. But
Yeah.
we got a lot of positive things going, so feel good about it.
Right. I know of course, you bag corn.
Oh, absolutely.
Lots of that for the deer hunters. And
Yeah.
I see it in all different locations, all around Arkansas when I go looking to buy some. I actually try to get the people over there in Valonia to buy from you.
Yeah.
And I can see where, I know that's a big part of the business, but a lot of, you actually sell the palletized stuff to the wholesaler.
Yeah, so
and then they retail it to the customer.
absolutely. So a big part of our business is built on the mom and pop feed stores, from state line to state line. Do a lot of business with co-op organizations and things like that. So during typical feed season, we'll ship out 3 to 5 semi loads a day of bag product there out of BB. So
So you got trucks.
we've got one company truck of our own van trailer, but then we use outside freight, to do the other loads. We have a lot of Oakley trucks that come through there that haul, DDG, feed products, ammonia nitrate, other fertilizer products. And then Rick Mott is our local guy that has been with Oakley forever, and he does our daily hauls of, back and forth from North Little Rock to BB.
How many loads? I mean, I know I see he does it every day.
Yeah, so typically Rick hauls
You're moving quite a bit of stuff.
2 to 3 loads a day for us.
Fertilizer.
And then he also hauls salt from Morrilton. We bring in bulk salt to the Morrilton location by barge, and then we bag a lot of feed salt for feed mills and pet food mills. Diamond Pet, we do a lot of bagging for
Pet
them.
food.
Yeah, dog food.
Okay, so explain that.
So there's salt in pet food.
Okay.
So, anyways, those companies buy a considerable amount of salt too. So,
Who knew?
yeah,
I mean, the pet food is running rampant.
yeah,
I mean, you get into that market, you're getting into something there.
yeah. So we're very diverse there. Got a good crew. We run about 17 people on average there. So it's not a huge location, but a decent size.
Yeah, you got a good group there. It seems like it's always been there. That's the that's the cornerstone of Oakley up there at BB.
Yeah.
Everybody got to know about BB.
Yeah.
So.
What about up at Foristell? I mean, let's talk about how it came about. If you guys both or Mike talk about, let's talk about how Oakley acquired the facility in Foristell, and then we'll talk about what all it does.
Yeah, so in 1988, a group of farmers in the Foristell region, Wentzville region, came together and built the company at the time was TNN Incorporated. Basically an ag retailer. They were doing bulk fertilizers, feeds. We buy grain and from the farmer and so forth and market it for them and everything else. In 2021, Oakley purchased the facility from TNN. Most of the owners of TNN at that time were probably in their 70s, 75 age range, so they all wanted to retire at that time. So they sold the business. Oakley came in, thought it was a good fit, purchased us.
What did you think when that was happening?
At the first, I, being there for 28 years, I'm like, wow, okay, am I safe,
Yeah.
And so forth. So yeah, a little nervous at the time. Then the Oakley family came in, talked to us, and said, hey, if we're not changing anything, you guys keep operating the same way you are, so on. So
I bet that was a sigh of relief.
Gave us a lot of comfort. Gave a lot of employees comfort. We had at that time, we had a lot of employees. We still do that have been there, 30, 31, 25 years. With the company, so there was quite a few people who were nervous.
I bet they were. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Am I still got a job or not? So
Correct.
Oakley kept them all.
So Oakley kept everybody on, and so forth. We had one guy; he was already talking about retirement. So he retired like a little over a year, about a year and a half ago. He'd been there like 35 years. He retired and so forth, and. From that point on, the rest of the crew basically out back, other than the ownership, is still there.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So we start, putting Oakley logos on everything and changing the stuff up a little bit, but it sounds like you embraced it and everybody up there did
Correct,
too.
correct. Yeah. So yeah, we put Oakley logo on the buildings and everything else, and on the signs and everything else. Changed it from the old TNN and so forth. And yeah.
Tell us about the facility.
So, Foristell, we are a formulator there. A formulator means we are able to do crabgrass preventers, weed and feeds, and if we're also licensed, we can do some insecticides where we can apply it onto the fertilizers for the turf market, for the retail stores. So I have 100,000 square feet of dry goods storage, of warehousing.
Wow.
We have bulk facilities there too. We can store roughly over 20,000 tons of bulk. So we buy basically everything by barge, truck it in, store it, and so forth. And then we have all great supplies for all of our customers at all times. We do ice melt as well. So it's lawn and garden fertilizer and ice melts, de-icing products that we supply to the industry. A lot of our products are ran from Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, all the way to the East Coast, is where we're shipping most of our products out of the Foristell location.
Really? So you're shipping them to wholesale. I mean, you're wholesaling it.
All of ours is wholesale.
Yeah.
Every bit of ours is wholesale. We have a lot of farm and home stores like Rural Kings, Farm and Homes, MFAs that we are supplying, that we're bagging. It's our bag, Oakley's product in the bag, our trademarks, and we have a sales crew, that we have accounts and everything else, and then we're shipping direct to these stores.
I was looking at the website. So anybody listening to this, you can actually go to the Bruce Oakley website, look on there and find Oakley Professional Products, which is what the official name is, and click on it, and you'll be amazed. I was looking at it this morning getting ready, and I was like, man, look at all the products that you're putting out with the different bags, and the feed and the fertilizer and the weed and all that stuff. I was like, man, what? I didn't realize we did all that. You had all those kind of products. Do those just come about? I mean,
getting into
one after the other? Or?
Well, getting into being a formulator to have weed and feed and crabgrass preventers and everything else, that took that takes a lot of hard work and everything else. Registrations, we're registered with the EPA. We have an establishment number. We have to get approval. Basically, if we're wanting to add a new chemical to our lineup and everything else, we go to the chemical manufacturer, say, hey, we're interested in adding this product to our, and then they'll show up at our facility. We'll have meetings. We'll have audits, and and then either we pass or fail. But 99, we always pass, and we've done great with that.
That just gives you even just more of the market when you can add a
yes.
product.
It brings in a big package. So now we have a package deal. So where we can give you a pre-emergent, a weed and feed, and just a basic fertilizer as well. If you're looking for something to...
And that kind of encompasses the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Huh. So who do you think are the end customers mostly?
End customers on our end is going to be your families,
Okay.
have homes, they have
Residential
gardens,
neighborhood. Okay.
yes, residents that are applying to their lawns and everything else. We're 48 miles west of St. Louis, so we're in a big market there to where a lot of turf guys are using our products as well, applying it to commercially, ball fields, golf courses as well, and so forth. Yeah.
So it must be a good product.
Absolutely.
It is a good product.
Yeah, the sales just keep increasing every year. You get pretty good, and you stay busy, I guess, sounds like, up there year round.
Yes. So like right now in production in the summer months, we are doing ice melt. We're still doing fertilizer, and on a few of our other bagging lines, we switched over to bagging ice melts, getting ready for winter. We try to be a season ahead of everything.
Do you do that in bulk too?
I do very little in bulk. We let the Oakley St. Louis location handle the bulk there. We're mainly all bag at our facility.
Okay, all right. Yeah, interesting. Trucks, you got trucks that deliver this
Yeah,
stuff.
we have 2 of our own trucks that run. They're day cabs. We have hopper bottoms and flatbeds, so they actually haul ingredients into us and then haul the finished goods out of our location as well. So we're very diverse on that. We keep the trucks pretty light where we can haul 20, 21 pallets at a time. We can haul 54,000 net legally to our customers, and that helps us offset.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so landed good cost to the customer.
Yeah, that makes a difference when you can get the weight on.
Yep.
You can outdo the competition. And we talked a little bit, Dustin, about you using Oakley trucks. You use some too, Mike?
Yes, we do. Yeah. I have some ingredients that are coming out of like Mississippi, out of Ohio that we use Oakley trucks for.
We're trying to, y'all probably know this too, but we're trying to establish more a part of that St. Louis area with some owner-operators up there, some local stuff, that we're trying to get into. And we've done a little bit in the past, but, right now we've got one guy. We got one owner-operator up there.
You got to start with one.
You got to start with one, and he's got a day cab, and it's working out really good so far, but we know there's a need for it, and there's definitely the freight up there to do it. And, of course, anything we can get from you guys is sure helpful when it comes to that.
Yeah, St. Louis is very, very well blessed with having Interstate 44, Interstate 55, Interstate 70 running right there, so we can go north, south, east, or west from our location pretty quick.
That Mississippi River you get around it. There's stuff to be done, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable how much barge traffic and products coming up and down the river.
It really is. That's something that I hope to do a episode with Fred and talk about the waterways a little bit and get people a little more knowledge of that. And it's kind of one of those hidden things in the background that a lot of product travels on the water that a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, the Port of St. Louis is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Hey, other thing, you was talking about that bag, and I remember you telling that story yesterday, but you had the original
Meltman bag?
Meltman bag. That's what I was trying to think. Yeah.
So, yesterday we met with Rich Stegman from Lang Stegman back in 2000,
Wasn't that great that he came?
Was it 2017? Or wait, in 2019, Oakley purchased Lang Stegman.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019. So, there's a little history there between Lang Stegman and the old regime of T&N.
Okay.
Lang Stegman was bagging fertilizer in the day, and so were we. And we were kind of competing against each other. I think in 1996, we purchased their ice melt rights away, so their lineup of ice melt, and that's when we got the Meltman bag. And we brought the Meltman logo and label into our facility, and we were selling it as well. And then in 1998, we purchased the bag fertilizer division away from Lang Stegman. And we got them away from bagging, so that way we're the sole bagging company in the St. Louis area and so forth. And then
did they just give up the logo or say, hey,
when we bought, we wanted that. We wanted that logo. That was
so you bought the trademark.
We bought that trademark and brought that into TNN. And then in 2021, here we are back full circle.
Isn't that something?
Where Oakley's purchased us. And when Rich was in there yesterday, I kind of wanted to bring that up to him because they were pretty proud of that bag, and we're proud of that bag.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good looking bag.
And I showed him the logo yesterday, and then I told him we're going to bring in a 12-pound shaker jug. So we do shaker jugs as well.
Yes, I wanted y'all to talk about those shaker jugs. What the heck that is?
Yeah, so it's a little 12-pound shaker jug that you see on stores, on the end caps of stores. And it's ice melt. We have a pet-friendly one. It's called Paw Pal. Very good product and everything else. And then we're bringing on the Meltman jug this
year. So the jug's just easier to pour it out.
Pour out. A little shaker jug. Has a cap, lid. Flip the cap up. Shake it out. Put it on your little steps or sidewalk. Close the cap. Store it back nice and dry.
But so it's pet friendly? Is the other stuff not pet friendly?
Yeah, we only have one pet friendly product, and that's Paw Pal. So Meltman is just another type of ice melt that we're putting into, we're going to shoot out there into our channels.
I like it.
It's just that jug, if you've got just an apartment or elderly people, it's just a lot more user friendly. They don't want to tote around a 50-pound bag, and trying to store it and this and that. So it just comes full circle with the product line.
Is this a little niche on the competition, or is everybody pretty much got the
everybody shaker jug? Most of all of our good big competitors all have a shaker jug out there in a pet friendly and so forth. So yeah,
I want you to tell me about, you had a conversation yesterday, Mike, about the robot.
Yes.
And we can decide if we want to keep it on here or not afterwards, but you were talking about how of course, like everybody knows, it's hard to get good help in a lot of places and doing certain jobs that are monotonous, and hard every day. And you had that situation up there with what?
Yeah, so, we used to bag everything by hand. We used to throw down per line, bagging line. We had 2 bagging lines in the day. We would throw down 100 tons per line. So 4,000 bags per line that we would hand stack and hand bag and so forth every day in and day out. 2001, we built a 30,000 square foot facility, added our first automated line to that point. That was semi-automated. It took a guy. 2009, we added a robotic line. So once we added that robotic line, that gave us a lot of diversity. It took a guy away from that to where he didn't have to sit there and touch bags all day, made it more employee friendly and so forth. When we'd always give a tour, people would come in and say, how many jobs would that robot take away? And I always would tell them none, because every day I'd hire somebody to come in and hand stack this stuff. They wouldn't come back at lunch. So I go, at the end of the day, no one wanted that job. So technically I look at it as like, well, you're not taking jobs away because no one wanted that job.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a purpose for that.
There's a purpose for it.
And this robot does, you were telling it, the shaker jugs. Does a robot do the shaker jugs?
The robot does not do the shaker jugs.
What was that? What was that we was talking about yesterday? That he filled it, put the cap on.
Yeah. So we used to do that by hand. We made a little mechanism on one of our hand baggers, and where we would fill it on the hand bagger. It would drop it, send it over, and a guy would just screw the cap on and then put it in a box. So we actually went out and purchased a jug filling line to where it actually, you set the jugs on the conveyor, it indexes the jug in, fills the jug, sends it through a capper puts the cap on, and then you got a guy taking it off, setting it in the box. So
much more efficient.
We doubled our capacity just by doing that. Yeah.
I'd have hated being that guy that had to fill that shaker jug.
Yeah, there's not guys standing in line wanting a job to screw lids on jugs all day either. So
yeah, when you went in and said, "Hey, today we're going to do jugs," you could see it in everybody's eyes. They're like, "Okay."
And I guess that mechanism, it don't look at you funny, does it?
No,
you just turn it on.
It doesn't complain. Shows up every day.
Yeah.
Turn it on and go. That's right.
Yes.
That's good. That's real good. What, we talked about Oakley Foristell in the beginning, but how has that made a difference in the facility up there at Foristell, and then also bringing Dustin in, and working some out of the office? How does that work, and how does that change things?
Well, as far as from one of the main things with purchasing T&N was, we've been bagging at Beebe for a while, fertilizer, but we had never done any real specialty type things. We'd just done basic blends and things like that. And Justin was, looking for opportunities to, grow and advance our bagging business. And T&N had a great thing going up there. They had kind of mastered that with their crew and the products and their whole process. And so we've implemented some things at BB that we by acquiring that business in Foristell that has helped out with, us being able to learn new things, do new things, learning tricks of the trade. Hey, well, we've always done it this way at BB. That's the only way we're going to do it. Mike's, we could do it this way. This is more efficient. And so that's been great to be able to utilize, their learning and their expertise out of Foristell and apply some at BB. As far as coming down, working out of the office, just being able to bounce ideas off of Justin and a lot of different guys, all the fertilizer guys are here, and so they keep me in the loop on what's going on with the market. And, Kel will say, hey, DAP's trending up, how are you at Foristell? I'll call Mike, talk to him about that. Are we in a position where we want to buy? Or, a barge of SGN urea comes through that's got a good price. Hey, do we have the capacity? I think we ought to buy now. And so that has worked out good doing that.
that being here and around all those people, I mean, it's kind of like trucking and back there in dispatch. I got to be able to hear those guys and to know what's going on with it. And that's the same with you coming. You kind of get you kind of back out of the everyday chores at BB, and you can kind of see what's going on and what needs to operate it more efficiently.
Yeah,
I can see how that could help for sure.
Yeah, it's been good.
What about has Oakley give you more resources?
Yeah,
Mike?
So with Oakley purchasing TNN, Oakley, by what Dustin was saying, that with us having the capabilities of the guys down here at North Little Rock, watching the markets, finding good pricing on products. We use a specialized products in Foristell. We use a smaller size prill on all of our ingredients because we're in the turf industry. That we will want more coverage with a smaller prill than an ag grade prill. So we're running a smaller grade prill to get in the turf market. So we got Kel and some of these other guys, RC out of St. Louis, that are watching the markets for me, help me out on that part. Way, hey, thinking, are you needing some product? And we communicate back and forth, and that has helped us tremendous, having the freight as well and so forth, and having another terminal to offload our barges. It's been great.
Yeah, that I've done a lot of podcasts, and I've sat with the Port 33 guys, and I've sat down with Jantran, and now you guys with Foristell, and you just hear a lot of the same stuff. The same verbiage as it's helped. It's helped, but we've kept everybody. I mean, it's just with each one, there's so similarities to it, and it's made it better.
Yeah,
giving it more opportunity.
So
it's really helped. What's the future look like? What do you think?
Future looks great.
Yeah.
Was just talking with Justin this morning about a possibility in another state of doing some bagging there. That's the thing with Oakley. A lot of opportunities come to us just because the way the company operates and the reputation and things like that. Yeah. People are constantly calling down here, inquiring about things and new opportunities. Out of Foristell, I mean, there's a lot of great growth going on there with turf companies. Our farm and home stores are constantly expanding, so all of those things are really great. As far as the BB location, we're starting to do some custom bagging we're custom bagging a deer product right now for a company, so that's bringing in some additional.
I'll have to know a little more about that.
Yeah, some additional revenue. Also picking up some new customers down this way as far as the fertilizer goes. So, so far so good. It looks good.
Yeah. Future looks bright.
Well, yeah, in Foristell we rely on a lot of weather. Last couple winters been pretty mild. So we're sitting on a lot of ice melts. We would love to have a good winter here. Like I tell everybody, I'd love for it to snow from Kansas City to Cincinnati.
Yeah, right.
Give me a couple of those right there, and we're looking really good.
Yeah.
So,
I think a lot of people don't realize that ice melt and salt is a big big deal product that, I mean, we're down south. We don't see
Yeah.
much of it, but up north, they
Yeah.
use a lot of it.
Yep, and you got to have it. If you're going to be in the business, it's be in the business or be out of the business. So it's it's feast or famine. If you, on those years that it doesn't snow, you're sitting on a lot of product for the next coming season. But on the years that it does snow, there you are.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of risk and reward to it. So
Yeah. Good conversation, fellas.
One story I wanted
Yeah.
to share with you before we leave. I was out in Red River, New Mexico back in February, out there snow skiing with my family, and we went in a little mom and pop hardware store there and walked around the corner, and there was a little end cap of Earthwise ice melt, which is actually bagged in our product, trademark product, bagged in Foristell.
Really?
And when you talk about the scope of Oakley, and you look at, we've got guys in the office that are buying internationally. So a guy from our company has bought salt in Egypt, and then we have a guy in our office has arranged the vessel, brought it from Egypt to the Gulf, and then Oakley barging, Jantran, picks it up at the Gulf, goes up to St. Louis to that facility, offloads there, put on an Oakley truck, brought to Foristell, put in a bag, and then ends up in New Mexico.
Isn't that something?
Oakley has handled that product from, the origin of the product all the way to the finished good. So it's pretty amazing to sit back and think about how diverse we are as a company and all the things that we do.
How small we are, but how much we
can do.
cover and
Yeah.
much we can do. That's
Yep.
right. Yeah. Yeah, it's eye-opening.
it is.
And that's what I wanted to bring to our listeners, just another part of Bruce Oakley that not everybody knows about.
Yeah.
So hopefully it might give you a little exposure too. You never know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got some guys out there that's got yards.
Yes.
And they need to green them up,
Yeah, Greenskeeper Secret. That's our
Greenskeeper Secret.
Yeah.
That's our trademark.
That's our trademark fertilizer brand.
Yep.
So yeah.
Are you going to get into any of the deer products? I know you just mentioned a little bit, but you know how they've got all that seed and some planting food plot stuff and all that down the road.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
So that is it's in the works. How's
okay?
that?
All right.
We'll leave
I
it
don't
at
want to
that.
give that. I just
We'll leave it at that, but it's in the
okay,
works.
In the works. There's lots of stuff out there to bag.
Yeah.
Well, good. Great conversation, guys. I appreciate y'all doing it. Mike, I know you got to get headed back north to Foristell, and Dustin, appreciate y'all being very wanting to do this with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
Appreciate it, Jake.
yeah, not wanting to do it. Some people are like that, but it always works out good. It's always a good conversation by the end. So appreciate y'all doing it. Good to meet you, Mike, too.
Good meeting you.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Oakley Podcast. Once again, we'll bring you some good information, stuff that probably didn't know, stuff I didn't know. It's always good and learning, and hopefully just gives you the idea of how far Bruce Oakley reaches. So appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week.